Hello everyone, and you're welcome back. In our last lesson, we saw two methods we could use to create a Visual Studio project. The first method, we just created a file on our Windows location. It could be on your documents, a desktop, or it could be on a cloud service like Dropbox. And the second method, we opened our command line, created folders, created a subfolder, and we used code space dot and press the return key to open Visual Studio Code. That's great. So when you open Visual Studio Code, you'll be greeted with this user interface. Now, Visual Studio Code is a code editor, and it actually has common code editing attributes with other code editing environments like Vim and Sublime. They're kind of quite similar, but different in a way. Now, it has the Explorer on the left, and this is going to show all the files and folders we have access to in the editor. Right now, it's actually showing the older content of the files I have opened, and it shows us a Get Started screen. We can always close this and deselect the Show Welcome on Startup page. But if you actually want that, you can actually bring that back and click on Get Started and return the welcome page. Next, this is the activity bar right here, and we actually have the editor groups in case we have a file. Let's go ahead and quickly create a new file. To do so, I'm going to create a new file, and I'm just going to call that hello.py, which is a Python extension. I'm going to save that within our code. I'm still going to call that hello.py right here and click on create file. This is going to create a Python file in that location. Remember, we had to go to new to create that file. If we are actually right here on the activity bar, we can actually see the sidebar right here. We can actually hide our sidebar by pressing Ctrl B to give us some space to work, or we could just click here at the edge and drag our sidebar back. We can also create a new file by clicking on the new file here, or create a new folder with our sidebar. Now, because we've created a Python file that ends with a .py extension, we can actually see our editor here. If we click on a terminal and have a terminal, you can actually see we have these editor groups right here. At the bottom is our status bar that gives us the information about what's going on here. So basically, I'm on line 1, and I'm using this file system for encoding, and it's telling me the type of language I'm using. Right now I'm using Python, and it's telling me the Python version. So we're using Python version 10 that we installed in the course. So basically, we have our editing environment, which is the main area where we can edit files, and we can open a lot of them. We have our sidebar that contains different views. We have our status bar that gives us the information. We also have our activity bar that's on the far left. Now, we actually look over here, we can actually see we are actually on the Explorer. If I click on this, we're actually on search, where I can search and replace a keyword. This is for our source control. In case you have Git, you can push this to Git. We're going to be talking about Git later on. This is our run and debug. These are our extensions, and in our next lesson, we'll be installing a few extensions that are going to help writing computer programs easy. Next, we actually have our testing, and we can have our PowerShell environment right here. So we actually can see the PowerShell opening up, but we can also use the terminal to see the output of our result as well. So this is going to be a quick wrap up. Another thing I'd quickly like to show you is that you can actually customize how Visual Studio looks by using themes. So if we go to View and click on the command palette, and you press Ctrl K and then Ctrl T, you can actually see a list of color preferences here. Now, yours might actually look kind of different from mine, but this is how you can install preferences and actually change these themes into any theme you want to change it. Like I said, Visual Studio Code is highly customizable. So we're going to stop right here, and in our next lesson, we're going to move on to create our new Python code.